Russia's latest atrocities and its callous attitude to non-combatants, innocent civilians, have shocked the world. We will not forget. We stand ready to send joint investigation teams to document war crimes in coordination with Ukraine's Prosecutor General. We are now finalizing a fifth package of sanctions against Russia, and we will continue to ramp them up as long as Russia continues its aggression. Also, it is vital that EU countries coordinate and work together with our global partners too to make sure that sanctions are properly and quickly enforced, not circumvented. Any loophole should be closed off quickly and firmly. Because sanctions that exist only on paper are just that, paper. So we want sanctions to continue biting Putin's regime hard in real world. It was a privilege to be joined today by Ukraine's Finance Minister Sergei Marchenko. He presented us multiple shocks to the Ukrainian economy, an economy at war, not something we were ever expected to see in Europe during our lifetime. The European Union remains firmly committed to support Ukraine economically, politically, militarily, humanitarily. This also applies to rebuilding a democratic Ukraine once Russia's aggression is stopped. We have started developing the Ukrainian Solidarity Trust Fund. It will be discussed this month in the IMF annual meeting in Washington, D.C. as well. The Commission has also started work on a longer-term macrofinancial assistance program for Ukraine. We're also doing everything we can to support refugees from Ukraine and to help neighboring member states to take care of them. We have activated the Temporary Protection Directive to allow those eligible to stay in the EU for at least 1 year and given a residence permit, access to education, access to healthcare system and the labor market. And yesterday the Council adopted our CARE proposal to help member states reallocate cohesion funding as emergency support for people fleeing from Ukraine. Last week we also proposed coordinating national approaches to help displaced Ukrainians exchange their hryvnia banknotes into the currency of their host country. These moves complement and reinforce all the other support that the EU is giving to refugees. Turning now to the economy. Russia's invasion is still sending shockwaves through the global markets. Commodity prices, both energy and non-energy, are volatile and stand at record highs. Together with extreme uncertainty, these developments are holding back EU's economic activity through multiple channels. Market and consumer sentiment have taken a hit. Inflation is being driven up much higher. This raises concerns about cost of living across the EU, with households and businesses facing higher bills, especially on energy. Just for euro area, Eurostat announced that annual inflation was risen to all-time high in March, 7.5%, up from 5.9% in February, and still largely driven by energy prices. We can expect further disruptions to global supply chains, especially since Russia has restricted exports of some goods and raw materials. Even though several institutions are issuing forecasts, the economic impact is still very hard to quantify, but we can already expect, however, that our 4% projection of real GDP growth this year is no longer within reach. The Commission intends to publish its spring forecast on 16th of May. The crisis will also weigh on our public finances. Weaker economic growth will lead to higher budget deficits, mainly through lower tax revenues. Many member states have also taken measures to offset the impact of higher energy prices and broader economic implications. There is also a cost of economic and material support that the EU is providing to Ukraine, as well as assistance to the large number of refugees. The combination of higher inflation and lower growth is not one we expected at the start of 2022, because then everything pointed to a good recovery from the pandemic. But we entered this latest crisis with the economy on good footing. Its underlying strengths will be valuable asset to help us to get through this crisis. The EU has other tools available to help offset the economic impact in the war, such as a new state aid temporary framework. We have also presented a strategy to safeguard global food security and reinforce resilience of food systems. It aims to support farmers and consumers in the EU, given rising food prices and costs of vital inputs such as energy and fertilizers. Since this crisis threatens food shortages in many countries, we will step up humanitarian assistance for low-income food importing countries and also others affected by this war. Then final observations as regards the discussions on the implementation of the OECD agreement concerning the Pillar 2 of global taxation. We also regret that agreement was not possible in today's ECOFIN, and would like to commend France's presidency's outstanding work and commitment to make sure that there is consensus and agreement on this important file. So we do hope that this agreement will be possible in next ECOFIN. Thank you.